YouTube? Topaz Ace back for another review, and this one's to that Lil Wayne Velvet Sessions, and I'm giving this one the red light, even though this one, we kind of do got to talk about this project here, because this is a pre-Carter 5 before he got the go-ahead to release the Carter 5 and all of that. He had this album put together, but this isn't like the full album of how he wanted it. This is really an OG leak right here that Lil Wayne didn't want. That's why you see it getting pulled down every which way you turn and such. And from what I'm hearing is a few songs on here was not even destined to be off of this project. And my guess would be the bonus tracks at the end, because they're just full-fledged rap songs out of nowhere. As this whole album, the basic concept of it is Lil Wayne's R&B album where he's doing a bunch of singing / rapping up on it, you feel me? And I already know a bunch of Lil Wayne apologists is going to come up and being upset, like, how could you judge this project when it's not the real project and all that? Like, by listening to it, you can gather an understanding of the trajectory that this project was trying to go. And it wasn't going into the hoop. It was going into the trash can. And the sad thing about it is, one of the best songs off of this happens to be that Zero track that I already made a review for, that I already gave the red light. Like, that was top 2 of this entire project, and that song was not that good at all. But let's go ahead and break this joint on down, man. Starting from the top, that Where My Old Lady At, man. Where this was interesting on paper. You feel me? Like the whole thought process around it. As Wayne is opening up as though it's a story that he's talking about somebody who's losing his woman, but yet it ends up being him speaking in the third person because it's his woman that's leaving him, because he hasn't been able to be around because he's been grinding so hard with the Carter 5 and all of that stuff. And because of this, in the third verse, when this chick goes on vacation and all that, you realize that's him repairing his relationship with his woman because he's still in the third person here, which in theory was cool. But yet when you listen to the track, even though that production has a little bit of bounce to it, it just clashes with what he's trying to do with this song here, man. And the whole singing / rapping type thing, man, it just doesn't pan out for the most part for Wayne. And I know he's like the forefather of these weak rappers out here that believe they can sing because they got auto-tune and audio effects and all of this stuff that they can cling to. But the reality of it is, if you're not doing it right, then all of these effects and stuff is a double-edged blade. And this song right here in particular gives you the other edge of the blade where it's not going to work. The next song is that $1 Million Question. Now, what is the $1 Million Question? It is when these women constantly come up to him asking, why you being so stingy with the money? That's what he perceives as the $1 Million Question that's being asked of him all the time. And I can understand why. Because wasn't you the one who coined the phrase that it ain't tricking if you got it? You feel me? That hip-hop clinged on that when that first came out. I said specifically that that's a horrible precedent to try to set. That is a terrible saying. But now it seems as though he finally wised up. If you're going to trick off and make it seem like it's the popular thing to trick off, then every woman that comes up to you is going to ask you where the money at, you feel me? And now he's finally trying to flip the script and such. But nah, it's too well ingrained in society now that you created, so I don't feel bad for him, and on top of it, it's a pretty bad song. The next song is Got 'Em, and this one I wasn't feeling either. I didn't like the overall concept, I didn't like the overall song, but the song really gets weird, and I understand how we do as guys and such, man. Like, most guys tend to look at relationships. If you can take a woman off of a guy, that's you perceiving your dominance over this individual. If you can take this guy's woman, then therefore you're that much of a man. And that's why all of these guys out here specifically target women who got guys and stuff like that. But yet, this gets weird because at every turn in this song, Wayne is talking about the specific things that this guy, that he ultimately made into like the main character of this, instead of him enjoying his time with this woman and he pretty much got this off of this guy, he keeps bringing him up and everything that he does wrong to this woman that he does better. You feel me? It begins to get weird because you might as well do a duet with the dude. If you can get this chick off of a guy, most likely because Wayne is notable and all of this stuff, then that chick will leave you for somebody like, say, Jay-Z, who's bigger and better than you right now, Wayne. So real talk, what is it that you exactly want here? And then two, why are you so focused about this guy that you took this woman from instead of focusing on the woman to begin with? You feel me? On how this gets weird. But you know, of course, Wayne is being Wayne as he's just doing his punchlines about sex and stuff that he is consistently doing. Like, he can't really help himself to a degree. In which that's really what shocked me about the song Zero, because he specifically went through that song without doing such, but yet he does it for the boatload of this project here, man. Like, take the song Tevin. As this song is really just a sample from Tevin Campbell from back in the day, that I'm Ready song, where it's a sample, but yet they looped it for some reason, so you can overtly tell that this wasn't a completed song that they just leaked out. But there are some interesting punchlines that's being said within this and a bunch of other songs, like how he's saying, I think that you're overdressed in your underclothes. Like, I like that play on words right there. I also like how he said that I'ma kill it and then give you that Johnny Cochran. Like, I like that play on words right there from the name Johnny Cochran and such, and based off of what Johnny Cochran does is get people off of murder, and how he's saying that I kill it. Like, that was pretty cool. And the same thing goes for that Weak song, because when you break it down, it's pretty much the same kind of format, as it's a straight up sample of SWV, and then he's just being lyrical with it, where he's saying things like, okay, she's blowing me like helium. Wasn't that great of a punchline, but one of the more decent ones from this project. And then continues it saying that we spooning like cereal, and I came 3-4 times and she ate the whole La Familia. Like, that was straight. Now, my favorite song would be that Little Girl Eyes right there, where this is his dedication to his daughter right here, as I love that production. I love everything about it, except for you can tell this wasn't meant to be released because it's not mixed down, and it's pretty bad in comparison to the mix down to everything else. But I enjoy the concept and how he got in the intro. His daughter, pretty much, she's not saying anything at all, but it's overtly for her, so having her on the intro and the outro is cool. And then it's a prolonged joint that's like 7 minutes and 30 something seconds, man. It's definitely worthwhile. Like, when that one finally releases, that's one I'll put onto my playlist. And then you got the last two tracks, where one of them is Hitman, where it's just a whole bunch of gunplay references, and the gunplay references are pretty bad here. But there are a few interesting things, like how he said, need to swallow the evidence as the police roll up, and then I'ma walk off like George Jefferson. If you guys remember the TV show where George Jefferson would always have like a funny little duck walk and all of that stuff, that was comedic. And how he said he'll put the gun to your ear and eavesdrop you. Like, that was slick little play on words as well. And the last song is that Who, where some people may perceive this as a diss towards Baby and all that, where he's pretty much just going through saying, I don't need Baby to get at you, to be successful, to do all of this stuff. But it's not a shot, it's more of just him declaring his independence, and he don't need nobody else to help him to do anything in this life. And which these are the only rap songs off this project, and you realize why they didn't make the Carter 5, because they are pretty terrible of tracks. Overall, man, this project was garbage. One that you realize why it really didn't come out, or why somebody leaked it and such, because it had no chance of coming out, because it just wasn't that good of a project. So I'ma overall give this joint, man, a 3 out of 10. One good song that's actually worth listening to and worth getting whenever it does come out, if it does come out. But outside of that, nah, you can pass on it. I hope you enjoyed the show. You can follow me at Twitter up there, and you can go to downloadpass.com, that's down there, to read today's article.